You made it.
Pinche exageradito, Armando.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another TCR podcast with your boy Impromando
And Lily Babe.
reporting live from Tampa, Florida. Literally a couple minutes ago, we just landed from beautiful
Alaska.
That's right, man. We have so many great takeaways, so
Yeah.
many great things to say about Alaska. Mm-hmm. We just wanted to get right through it. We didn't want to be like, you know what? Let's not have a podcast because we're tired, jet lagged. No excuses, right?
Yeah, no. We literally landed maybe like an hour and a half ago.
Yeah.
Went to go grab a bite real quick, got home. I showered really quick, got gym ready because I'm gonna go to the gym after this, honey. And we're about to get into it because we have so many stories and so many things that we learned while we were in Alaska that I would have never thought, to the point that I even want to go back, you guys.
Yeah. Never in my life, never in all the trips that we've been to, Lily Bay has said, I want to come back. She said it literally like a good 5 to 10 times while we're over there. Typically, it's like, I want to go home already. Or I miss my bed, something like that. But
or I miss my cows.
This trip was completely different.
Yeah.
Why do you think?
I think the number one reason is because I genuinely love doing like outdoorsy things. Mm-hmm. And for the most part, not everywhere, but a lot of other places that we've been in the world, it's kind of like the same thing we do here, let's say. Party, or like beach, pool, get lit, which, I love that too. You guys already know. But this was something totally different. We went to go see glaciers. We went on trails. We went to go see waterfalls. It was a lot of things that I haven't done. Ever. Well, we have like in Tahoe and stuff, but it was always like for the day. Yeah. It was never like the whole weekend. We had different adventures to go on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it was different because not one day did I get lit. So it was like a different type of vacation.
Trip. Yeah, it wasn't one of those like you're crudo the next day or tired from drinking or inflamada or nothing like that. So it definitely was different. Instead of us going like into like each day, because all that information you can see it on the vlogs, right? I'd rather this podcast to be more like takeaways. Like, what did you learn? Which I think that's the best parts. What did you learn about Alaska? What do you take away? And what do you want to do next time? You know, so biggest takeaway. What is one of your biggest takeaways from Alaska? Like you're like, this right here, I had no idea. Or this right here, I loved.
Well,
biggest
I
takeaway.
thought it was cold, like unbearable cold, 24/7. 24/7, 365 days a year. I thought it was cold. And if by any chance they had a little bit of warmer weather, it was something that we couldn't stand, like especially us Floridians.
Yes.
So that for me was the biggest takeaway. I thought there was snow 24/7. I just thought it was like Antarctica vibes, honestly.
Like snow everywhere, igloos, maybe you see igloos, and you don't really step outside too much.
Growing up, I would watch my dad watch National Geographic, the Discovery Channel, and every time they showed Alaska, it was like glaciers and whales and polar bears and what is it? Orchids?
Moose.
Yeah, it was like all of that. So, ahora que fuimos, I was super taken back because one, when we landed, there was no snow in the city. Mm-mm. Two, it was not that cold. I was wearing a hoodie and a jacket on top of that, and I took off my jacket. All you needed the whole weekend we were there was really a hoodie.
Yeah, right? Hoodie. A light jacket would do.
Yeah. And the locals there, some were wearing T-shirts, some were wearing shorts.
Yeah, chanclas, some of them.
Yeah. So that was totally unexpected for me, I know, because, again, everything I thought I knew about it growing up. Mm-hmm. So what was your biggest takeaway, babe?
I think my biggest takeaway would be like just how slower life is there. Mm-hmm. It's still a city, but life is just slower.
It gives small town vibes.
Small town vibes in a bigger city, though.
And no, not in a bigger city, because it's not big at all, I feel.
I mean, they have a downtown.
But you would consider that a big city?
A bigger city, not like it's not a small town.
No, it's not a small town. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a city, though.
Because for me, a big city is like Miami, New York, LA, and then a small city is Tampa, St. Pete.
No.
So then,
Tampa's huge, babe.
Yeah?
Yeah, Tampa's 500,000 people.
So then, I don't know, a micro city.
Yeah, just a small city, you know, not a small town. I wouldn't consider Anchorage. That's what we're talking
It's
about.
hard to explain because they did have a downtown, but it wasn't huge at all.
But they had a strip of like a lot of
there's nothing I
places.
can compare it to that I've been to at least.
Right. But what I was saying is that like a lot of people just live slower.
Yeah.
And they enjoy life a little more, it feels. But it's just more of a calm. There's no traffic.
Yeah. They have Mondays off.
There you go. I wanted to get there too. Like they work, you know, really hard Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And they're like, you know what? Everyone spent all their money. So let's not open up on Monday. Is that
everyone or... I don't know where you got that from. I heard somebody saying but did they say the whole city shuts down on Monday?
They said a lot of restaurants, a lot of companies just don't open on Mondays. Except schools, yeah. So I feel like that was one of the biggest takeaways, other than like the nature and the mountains, how beautiful they are. And I was just expecting way more snow.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Unbearable temperatures. You had to wear a jacket everywhere you go. And no, like you could actually enjoy Alaska in April. You know?
Yeah.
So I really like that.
And they told us that it wasn't even the hottest. It gets hotter. And ahora que fuimos, there wasn't no snow in the city, but there was snow like in the mountains surrounding it. And they said in a few weeks, there's not going to be no snow surrounding the mountains. So that intrigued me a little bit more because I was like, damn, if it gets even nicer weather, but it's still very cool to where you can be hiking and doing all these outdoorsy activity without being like scorching hot. I was excited to maybe go back to that one day because here in Florida, one, there's no hiking like that, but two, if you do want to go on a trail or something like that, just know it's hot, humid, bugs, which we're used to. I'm not complaining. I love it regardless, but having that vibe out there was
another thing that we haven't touched on is how long the days are.
Oh, yeah.
The sun comes out right now at 4 a.m., somewhere at 4 a.m., and doesn't get dark until like close to 11 at night. Dark, pitch dark.
Yeah.
And I feel like we did so much in the day, like outdoorsy things that aprovecha so much in this time of year. Because we've heard that they get like 2-3 hours of sunlight, like in December.
Yeah.
But compared to like right now, you have all day until 11 to do outdoor things. It's just amazing. You know?
So like we came back from a glacier and you would think we were in the glacier 2 hours away, 2 hours back all day. You'd think, okay, the day's over. You get back, you're tired, you get home, go to sleep, whatever, unpack whatever you took. No, girl, we got back and then we went straight to go eat at a restaurant. Fire, Moose's Tooth. Oh
pizza
my God.
Amazing, guys. Amazing.
I'm going to miss that pizza. But we were there chilling, vibing, drinking for a while.
Yeah.
For a while. Like it was like a table of 10, 12, I think. So you would think just, you know, you get the vibes. You're in there hanging out for a while. Once you leave there, okay, now you're done, Lily Bay. Now you're going home, you know, because now it should be a little later now, right? But no, girl. After that, we went to Flat Top. No.
Flat Top.
Did we go there first?
Mountain,
and then Bass Pro?
Yeah.
Okay, then we went. Then they're like, oh, we should have took you guys to Flat Top. Oh, well, let's go right now. We drove to a mountaintop. Mando got down, flew the drone. We vlogged a little bit. Was like seeing the views, super pretty, looking for moose and all that. We get back down and they're like, have you guys ever heard of, what was it? Cabela's. And we're like, no, what is that? And they're like, it got bought out by Bass Pro.
But it was big.
It's a big thing out there. So we're like, oh, we should go. Still went there, walked around. Lily bought a few little things, literally until they closed. It wasn't a long time, maybe like 15, 20 minutes because they were about to close. And then you would think, okay, now you guys are going home, right? Like the day's over. No, girl. We still went. They were like, oh, we haven't taken you out. No, you brought it up. Mando's like, yo, what's up with this thing that people keep telling me that they do out here in Alaska? It's basically... They get a little bottle of wine, grab some chairs.
Little six-pack or whatever you drink.
Whatever you drink, and pull up to watch the planes land. And Manto's like, what's that all about? And they're like, oh, let's go right now. Girl, we drove out there, basically by the airport. Stopped along the way. Mando got down because they saw some moose. So we were out there in that little park area while he was recording that. Still got back to the... Got to that area where the flights are landing and everything. chilled there, hung out for like 20, 30, 40 minutes. I don't know.
And the still daylight. Yeah.
Daylight, you guys.
Let me stop you there at the airplane watching, landing, viewing area, whatever you want to call it. I feel like when they told me about it, I was like, no, like, it sounds cool, but no me interesa, right? To be honest. But being there and like just relaxing and seeing the vibes there, it's like something badass. They're like, yeah, people do like bonfires here and just literally disconnect. They get the little 6-pack. They get something just to enjoy the tarde. And here in the city, I doubt there's something Imagine someone saying, let's go watch the airplanes land here in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no.
Impossible.
Well, that goes with what you're saying, that they live such a slow-paced lifestyle, which is a good thing. I love that. And us in Tampa, we're very like, it's a city. Go. Like, we don't got time to go sit there and watch planes. Like, we got a million things to do. But everyone, I tell Mando all the time, everyone's busy. Everyone has a million things to do. Like, you think they don't have a lot of things to do? Yeah. Pero they have, I think it's more costumbre for them to do all these outdoorsy things.
It makes sense for them to do too, because
there's so much to do. There's so many trails, so many parks. You could literally go drive around looking for moose if you really wanted to.
Yes, and on our way to...
on our way back home.
We see moose everywhere. How many moose do you think we saw? Maybe 5?
Well, remember the first one oh my God, the first moose that we saw, you guys, it was already on the last day. Oh my God, we did that too. When we were coming back from the glacier, we did that too. We were driving back, remember, it was like almost 2 hours to get back to Anchorage, the city. As we're as we're driving back, we're on the interstate. It's like 4 lanes going one way, 4 lanes going the other way. We see the other side of the lanes braking. You see gas, you hear cars screeching, and you see a huge moose galloping through the highway, jumps over the median into the way that we're going.
Coming,
all of our cars on our side are stopping también, galloping.
Is huge.
And they're like, that's a baby.
Yeah. I'm like, what? These things are huge.
It's bigger than the car we were in.
Yeah. And it's impressive to me to see something like that, but I feel like for them it's just normal.
Yeah, because they are, what is it called when you can't mess with them out there?
Protected.
They're protected in Alaska, so people can't just hunt them down cuando se les dé la gana or any of that. You're not allowed to touch them, feed them, nothing. Another random fun fact that we learned is their antlers fall off.
Yes.
And these moose are literally even walking around neighborhoods, okay? If their antler falls off, even if it's in front of your house, you're not allowed to touch it or pick it up. You have to call I don't know what number, and only somebody who is a native can claim it and pick it up.
And if he was nice enough, which is not going to happen, he could sign it off and give it to you.
Yeah, like he can legally like give it to you, like, but a native has to give it to you or sell it to you or whatever. So just little things that we would hear that I feel are things we don't hear of anymore, like nowadays, right? Having so many things that are, I don't know, like untouched, let's say. So many trails untouched, mountains untouched. Well, not trails, because trails were made, right?
Yeah, I mean, we thought we did a lot in Alaska, but they were like, you guys didn't do nothing.
No, I know for sure.
You guys got to come back because you got to do this, and this. And the people there, shout out to La Michoacana. I didn't think we shout them out yet. Shout out to La Michoacana. Shout out to Daniela. Shout out to Chucho and all the family they have there. They're super homey. They're super, they're just inviting. They're very inviting. So they're like, come back because in this fecha, we're going to go camping and I want you guys to come. And if you guys do come in this fecha, we can go camping. So they're like super inviting. And that's just part of the community in Alaska.
Because everyone we would meet would tell us the same thing. You guys need to come back. We'll take off. We'll go camping. Like out there camping is a big thing to the point where people are doing it like every single weekend because there's so many spots to go to. They're never going to finish. Something we learned is Alaska is like a little bit over double the size of Texas. Just
like in
size.
In size, yeah.
Right? Bigger. Their whole population is around 700,000 people for the whole state. Remember, 2 times the size of Texas, right? And tell me why in Tampa we have 500,000 people.
500,000.
Just in Tampa, not even Florida. Just in Tampa, we have 500,000 people almost.
So all that causes traffic.
Exactly. And in the whole state, times 2 of the size of Texas.
Not even.
They have only 200,000 more people than we do.
Yeah.
Just in Tampa alone.
So I guess that's what, it makes sense. That's what causes traffic. That's what causes more stress.
Yeah.
That's what causes you to be more busy in the bigger city compared to something like that.
Yeah.
One thing we learned too was that in Alaska, I think it's one of the only states that the population is dying. It's going down.
Yeah, it's
year by
declining.
year. It's declining. And they have a lot of benefits for Alaskans. They have a dividend that the oil companies give them for you to live in Alaska. You get paid somewhere around $1,500 to $2,000 per person.
Yeah.
So if you have 3 kids,
their biggest check was around $3,200 per person.
It just depends on like how the oil is selling. So if it's selling really good for that year, you get your dividend higher. So imagine you have 3 kids. 1, 2, 3, and then you have your wife and you. I mean, 5 times 2 or 3, you're making some money at the end of the year.
Just living there.
And then on top of that, the pay. I mean, a lot of people were telling us like how much you get paid out there. I mean, you're talking about like $30, $40 starting in construction.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're trying to get people there to live and to stay in Alaska, which to me it felt really, really safe. Why? Because you know who's next door? Russia. So they have a huge, probably the biggest military base in the whole United States.
Yeah.
Because if there was something to go down, Alaska would be the first target,
Yeah.
So they know they had to be ready for whatever. So that's why, it's very important to keep Alaska safe.
Yeah.
Number 1.
And honestly, I was telling them as we were over there, I'm like, I feel like you guys don't get enough exposure because everyone that I've talked to, even now that I came back, when I'm telling them about what we experienced, they're like shocked. They had no idea that Alaska was like that at all. Yes, okay, we didn't even see the best weather. Yes, they do have some crazy like winters, meaning like full darkness and super cold. I mean, I don't know how cold it gets compared to like, let's say Colorado or like the northern states. But somebody else did mention that a lot of companies don't work during that time. Like they'll work
6 months.
6 months out of the year, but they'll get paid well enough to where the other months that they're not working, it like balances out, So I was like, damn, that's so many little fun facts that I've learned. And I honestly told them, I'm like, I feel like you guys just need more exposure, more influencers, like Alaska influencers or something to post like all the beautiful parts of Alaska, because there was a few things that they invited us to go to. And whenever I would look it up on TikTok, just to see, what should I wear? What's the vibe? When is the best time to come? There's nothing. Nothing. There, like even when we went to an event called Aliaska.
Aliaska,
yeah.
Slush Cup, sorry.
The few slush cup, the few things that I did see were like nothing. It was maybe like 10 TikToks for the amount of people that we saw out there. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I do understand that part too, is because trends get there way later. So they're not on the TikTok trend yet, which they will get to. Because I remember living in a small town, Belglade. I remember me, myself, trying to rock like a new haircut that I saw in Dallas because I went on vacation. I'm there rocking it and people are looking at me weird, like, what the hell is that? 3 years later, now everyone's rocking that haircut. So I think that's kind of what happens in those northern or those far away states. They're a little behind.
Yeah, but I really hope they get more exposure because we don't want Alaska to die down.
No.
Super pretty. Definitely. Well, a lot of you guys told me that either you've been or it's on your bucket list to go. So now you guys know from Lily Bay and Mondo that we 1000% recommend it. Even right now that we went, which wasn't, they say the best time to go for them. It was amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
To the point where hopefully next year we go back.
Yeah, so this is a little podcast to bring a little of awareness about Alaska, the great times, the great views, the great food that we ate.
Oh, yeah.
Ate some halibut, ate the pizza. Halibut. Some salmon, smoked salmon. Oh, some reindeer sausage, which, can you tell us what the taste was like?
Honestly, It tasted fire.
Yeah. It wasn't like...
It didn't taste gamey at all.
No.
It almost tasted like a straight beef hot dog. A little tiny bit different as far as texture. You know how the beef hot dogs are more like tough compared to like a regular chicken hot dog or pork? It was like in between of both of those. But overall, it was really good. The way that they make it, oh my God. The amount of Latinos out there too, the guy that was selling those hot dogs was Colombian. And we met so many different...
Yes.
We met Colombians, we met Mexicans. Dominican, Samoans. Puerto Ricans. Like, hay de todo allá. All the places that we would go to, it's not like you walk in y hay puro americano. Or puro de esto, puro del otro. No, it's like de todo, right? And then another thing that you didn't touch on, well, that I thought was very different is the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like how many kids people had over
At least 3. At least.
Yeah. Well, here in Tampa, especialmente cuando ves a los americanos, usualmente tienen 1 o 2.
Yeah.
Max.
Yes.
Max. Over there, they all had 3, 4. Easy. You would see a bunch of kids with everyone. And Mando's like, damn, pues es porque no hay nada que hacer, okay? But yeah.
The main question that I would ask, and then I stopped asking because it didn't make any sense until now. What are Mexicans doing in Alaska? Why are you guys here? You know? But we know Mexicans are everywhere. Mm-hmm. But this might not be the only reason, but it's one of the reasons why Mexicans are in Alaska. So in 1964, there was a huge earthquake. There was a huge earthquake in Alaska. It destroyed Alaska. It messed everything up. So the U.S. had a big push and like I would say like a petition to bring a lot of people to help rebuild Alaska. Because we know that Alaska is very important. So they wanted to keep the city going. They wanted to rebuild the city. So they had a lot of, just a lot of people come to Alaska.
Right, great.
Yeah, a lot of immigrants come to Alaska to help. So a lot of Mexicans went that way, and it was easy for them to arreglar papeles. So when you have one Mexican, they just call over more and more Mexicans. And then little by little, pues tengo un tío allá, vamos a chambear allá. Yeah. And it was really, really good paid. And it still is. So that's one of the reasons why there's a lot of Mexicans in Alaska.
Yeah, and even the other races that we would ask had the same background, that their
grandparents,
great grandparents came because of the hurricane. Well, no, not the hurricane, because of the earthquake.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a tsunami también that just devastated the whole city.
Yep. But I think that's it on Alaska, right? I have one more little topic to talk about because it's May's coming up tomorrow. Have you heard of the Chapter 5 checklist?
No.
Well, the Chapter 5 checklist is like, I don't want to say a fresh start, but a new start for your year. Okay. 5 months into the year, you could start setting new goals, but don't forget about the goals that you had at the beginning of the year. It's more like a reset, right?
Okay.
Also, start planning all your spring break, all your outdoor activities, because the weather's starting to get nice. So start making at least one plan.
Yeah.
For May. Next one is financial refresh. Pretty much, keep looking at your monthly statements, keep looking at everything, just a refresh of your financials, for May. And then the last one is just continue to challenge yourself to, your health, which is very important because...
Like get back on it, Armando?
Yes, get back on it. Challenge yourself with the health. Challenge yourself with trying to eat healthy and just keeping up your body because the summer's coming. Yeah. And you're trying to look good for the summer, So that is what did I call it? Chapter 5 reset. So
okay, love that.
And
so we're going to do it, right? Tomorrow?
Yeah. Okay. Tomorrow we start Chapter 5 reset. Hold on.
I'm excited because I haven't looked back at my what is it that we do at the end of the year? Your vision board. I haven't looked back at my vision board since, and I've been meaning to, but I never printed it out. I have it in my phone, but I never printed it out. And I'm like, damn, I know I've already checked some things off, but I want to look back at it. So that this is a perfect time to do that.
And last but not least, we did say this was going to be a shorter podcast, but I did want to touch up one more thing. People love this segment. So you grew up Mexican if. You ready?
Okay.
You called every single cereal cornflakes. Los cornflakes. Is that right? Or did it happen in your family? In mine, 100%. Los cornflakes. Mijo, tráeme unas cornflakes. It didn't matter if it was Fruity Pebbles. It didn't matter what it was.
I don't think so.
It was cornflakes. All right. I guess you didn't grow up Mexican.
Remember, my parents were never home.
That's true.
So it would be your parents telling you that, right? Or would you tell your sister, tráeme cornflakes?
Oh, yeah. Voy a comprar unos cornflakes a la tienda.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
No.
Saturday meant limpiar la casa with some super Mexican music. It could be Temerarios. It could be Grupo Límite. It could be Brindis. How about you?
Pues no, I'm telling you, my parents were not home.
No, pues no. The next one was sleeping on 2 chairs at a party. Your parents were not going home.
1,000%.
They were not going home. If you got sleepy, you're going to sleep right there.
We still do that to this day.
To this day. Never knowing if ahorita means now or later. Your parents ever use that?
Still to this day.
Yeah.
You use it all the time, Armando.
We grew up Mexican. You know, no pasa nada. And lastly, you were never allowed to sleep over anywhere.
Yeah.
Unless it was at your grandma's house.
Yep, that's it.
That's it, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, my tias, too.
Yeah, but you couldn't go to your little friends and sleep over,
never.
nothing like that.
Not once in my life. Nope.
But yeah, that's it for today's podcast. Sorry, it was a little short, but you know.
In our defense, we literally just landed.
We just landed.
And it's
but we had to make sure.
Almost 10 o'clock at night.
We had to make sure to show up, which is very important, and give y'all a little rundown of how our amazing trip.
Yeah, but everything, we didn't get into too much detail because we did vlog pretty much everything. So the vlog should start going up in the next day.
Yeah, today.
Which I'm excited about for you guys to see. It's going to be at least, unos 3 vlogs?
At least 2, maybe 3.
2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know one is like the whole Michoacana, like all that. We had to squeeze that into its own vlog. Yeah. And then maybe the next 2 is like just adventures out there. I'm going to try to do a little different on like the next 2. It's going to be more like narration and just like giving you fun facts to keep it interesting and funny. But you guys check it out. Make sure you go subscribe to Lillian Bay's channel. Big week for Lily Bay too. Got her birthday. Got her bridal shower.
I have so much I have to do, you guys. Like, you don't understand. No, I'll just run through it. It's my bridal shower this weekend, right? But at the same time, I'm hosting a few people here. And we just got back from Alaska, so the house is a disaster.
No, it's not, babe. You left it clean.
We have to unpack everything.
It's not, babe, it's not a disaster.
The girls know. We got to clean the house. I got to try on my outfit again. Hopefully, I still like it because, we just got back and my shoes came in. I ordered some little gloves or whatever just to try to make it a little extra. So I got to try that on. I want to go get a spray tan because I have like different tan lines on me. Okay. From being at the beach so much.
Just don't do a little too much.
I'll do whatever I want.
Okay, next one.
And then, there was something else. I'm literally like writing stuff down. Oh, and then my birthday is, I guess tomorrow. So I have people asking me like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I'm like, oh my God, I haven't even thought about it. And then I did try to call some restaurants booked because, Tampa, everything's booked. And I was like, ¿sabes qué? No voy a hacer ni madres. Me voy a quedar a limpiar la casa. And just,
Thank you guys for showing up on this beautiful Wednesday morning. And if you're listening on Thursday or Friday, no pasa nada. But thank you guys for always supporting the podcast and showing love. When we meet you guys, telling me that you listen to the podcast, it's very inspiring.
And again, shout out to the people from La Michoacana, the last frontier in Alaska. All of this couldn't have been done without them. We said it on the last podcast and we're saying it again. You guys are going to hear it on the vlog. So if you guys ever do pass through Alaska, 1,000% recommend stopping by, saying hi.
Yeah, start making your plans to go to Alaska because it's very
worth it. Let's all go next year in June. Come on, let's go.
Let's go. So that's it for today. See you guys on the next podcast.
Bye.
Nos vemos.